Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. You know, this bill puts the focus on the wrong people. It's focused on law-abiding citizens who are not committing crimes, who are not using guns to hurt people in this state. In fact, in the last 10 years, there's only been one homicide involving a CCW holder. One in the last 10 years. I agree with my colleague from Sacramento. There are people slipping through the cracks. You know who they are? Smiley Martin, who was released from prison only serving 4 years of a 10-year sentence because of emergency regulations under Prop 57 that allowed for the early release of someone who was not ready to go back into society. He ended up shooting up the streets blocks from this Capitol and killing people on the streets of Sacramento. That's a big loophole that we should be closing. And we should say, stop releasing people who are not ready to come back into society, who are being released long before their sentence is up, who are violent, who have a history of violence, who have a history of having weapons they're not supposed to have, a history of modifying those weapons so they're more deadly. Why aren't we going after that and closing that loophole? My colleague pointed out a great point. We've had bills that actually focus on gun crimes. If someone's using a gun in the commission of a crime, they should have an enhanced sentence. But you all wouldn't even let it have a hearing. You wouldn't even let it move forward so that we could actually vote on it on this floor. My other colleague actually had a great bill that made the connection to domestic violence. My colleague from Rockland, that was highlighted in the San Francisco Chronicle as this was a great measure because what we've seen from a lot of gun crimes, people killed using guns, there's a strong connection with those who have committed domestic violence. We had that bill. It didn't get out of Public Safety Committee. You're not serious about getting after gun crime if you're not going to pass these measures, and instead you're going to focus on the people who are demonstrably not the problem. The mass shootings that we've seen in this state, 44 a year right now, according to the PPIC. They're not people with CCWs. And my colleague also just pointed out an ignorant comment talking about a long rifle. You can't get a CCW for a long rifle. It's not concealable. It would not be allowed. So we're not talking about CCW holders when we're talking about violent people who are committing crimes on our street. Here's another one. We've got over 10,000 people right now that we know of who are not supposed to have weapons. They're on the prohibited persons list at the DOJ. They haven't been disarmed. We haven't disarmed them. So instead of actually going after the people who are the risk, who are the people who are committing crimes, who've done it before, you're going to go after law-abiding people. Not only is it unconstitutional, it's unjust. And you're going to make it virtually impossible for them to carry anywhere in this state because you put so many exceptions, so many places that you can't carry. We're punishing law-abiding people who are simply exercising their constitutional rights and doing nothing about the criminals who continue to victimize people each day in this state. It's sick. Don't lecture me about gun control and gun violence if you're not going to do something about the people who are the real problem and continue to go after law-abiding citizens. It's wrong, and we should stop it today by voting no and passing good measures that actually go after the people that are committing these crimes. Thank you.